Welcome to the Dialed and Driven Mentality Podcast. I'm host Jeff Lerg alongside co-host Natalie Ferenc. And this week kicks off our Goalie Nation series geared specifically toward goalies and goalie families. We have an amazing guest this week, national championship winning goaltender from Denver University, Johnny Hicks, also known as Johnny Bricks, one of the best nicknames in all of sports. Johnny walked us through his journey to get to Denver, his success he had during his freshman year, and some of the superstitions and things he learned and some future goals for himself after this amazing year.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. And his story is very inspiring to the goalie nation and specifically for young goaltenders, as he really walks us through his mindset, preparation, and everything that he does to prepare for games, practices, and how he won the national championship.
Yeah, so let's take a listen to Johnny's story. We have an amazing guest, someone, if you've been living in not under a rock, you'll know of Johnny Hicks, the national championship goaltender from Denver University. So fired up to hear more on his journey, which culminated in a national championship. So Johnny, welcome to the Dialed and Driven Mentality Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, round of applause.
And what we want to get into first, Johnny, we'll talk about your history, your journey. Something I know you've had a whirlwind of a month. What we've seen, at least online, is you've kind of been the celebrity status in Denver. You've had a lot of different experiences. You were at the Avalanche game with your team getting honored. You had then gone to the Denver Nuggets basketball game. You're shooting free throws out there. You're at the Colorado Rockies game throwing the first pitch. Obviously, we know the national championship is memorable, but maybe we missed even some other events. What's been the most memorable thing that's happened to you so far in the last month since you guys had won it all?
I think everything has had its own special memory in my mind. Just being with the team in general, that's probably the best thing, especially with the seniors moving on and whoever is moving on. Just spending time with them and just being able to celebrate with them and do all these cool things around the city. It's pretty special, and I've just been very grateful for all of it because moments like these don't come often, and a few months from now we're going to get right back to it, and these are just become memories. So I'm just trying to take all of it in and live one step at a time and keep just staying focused on the present moment and just enjoying it with all of these guys because, we're not going to be able to have these moments for forever. So, but we will remember them forever. But I don't know if I can choose a specific moment. I think the NBA free throw was pretty cool. There's just a lot of pressure on me in that moment.
Oh, come on.
That's what I felt. But
I know we saw you bear it. That was pretty cool. I was just out in the driveway shooting free throws. I had no pressure.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I tried to think about when I was shooting it. But
yeah, that's awesome. No, it looks super cool. One thing I think that you and I were meant to meet each other. I'm going to give you 3 stats that I find unique. I was always someone who kind of dug into the stats when I played.
Yeah.
So first off, your first NCAA Division I tournament game was a shutout victory. Beautiful, as a freshman. Secondly, you won the national championship as a 20-year-old. I did the same. And then last thing that we have in common is in the national championship game, we each made 29 saves. So I thought that was super unique. And you and I were meant to meet. Yeah, and we're both the shorter end of the goalie front. So I was
Jeff,
super
how tall are
fired up.
you?
5'5.5". Yeah, he's got me.
I remember watching your highlights before the night before the national championship game, and it got me some motivation. I think I texted you that as well, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
So cool. Yeah. Thank Natalie for putting that together. She did an amazing job putting that together, and I'm happy at least it might have been
a lot about you too in that, Jeff. Everyone's doubting you. And I can assume the same thing happened with you, Johnny, is that you had a lot of doubters before that game just because of your size.
Yeah. I think that's just something that has just been around my whole career now, but it's just kind of become noise recently, and just it's all about perspective at that point.
Yeah, you got us in your corner here. Natalie's about the same. She's shorter than me, and then obviously we're on always rooting for the shorter goalies. But I want to give a little bit of time for you to recap your team success. I know that you're obviously one that wanted to, of course, give a lot of love and credit to your team, and I didn't know your team a lot other than I did watch all 4 of the tournament games and kind of got to see the culmination of it. But I know you guys, and it's been all over the media, just a super unique story. And Denver, although now they hold the record for the most championships all time, this wasn't a powerhouse team really from start to finish as it's been documented. You guys, I think you tied Air Force, you lost to Lindenwood, you lost to Anchorage, the team did, and then obviously we know it's at some point. Team got hot, you got going in the right direction and never looked back. But maybe just give us some things why you think your team was able to find that groove and come out on top, because you really had, especially in the final 2 games, you guys were kind of playing from behind, and you in particular had to kind of keep your team alive in both of those games.
Yeah, I think from the start we knew we always had it in us. It took some time for us to not gel as a group, but I guess connect on the ice a little bit. And I just feel like once, like it was just a matter of time before the guys started connecting. And I think just when I came in, it was just luck of the timing. Like the guys started putting up a bunch of goals, and we were playing unbelievable. And I'm not sure what the cause of that was. I just think it's the consistency of our coaching staffs. They never changed anything with the team. We stuck to our processes every single day, and I feel like if you do the same things every single day and you work your butt off every single day, the results will come on their own eventually. And I think you just need to trust that, because a lot of people they expect results right away just from working a few days. But I think that was just the mindset of our team. We had the mindset of winning this whole time, and I think it just came down to our process and just working our butts off every day and doing the exact same things. It's a boring thing, but winning can be boring sometimes. So.
Yeah, fill us in like on your story now a little bit. Like we obviously did our research and heard of you, a little bit as the year kept going on, but it's of course been known that you came in and you weren't the go-to guy nor the second go-to guy. We don't want to call you a third stringer, but at the time you just weren't the one getting the minutes. But what were you doing during that first half of the year? You were a freshman in college. Maybe you were still getting adjusted to the academics. Now you're getting adjusted to not playing a lot of minutes. So fill us in on your first half of your season, any minutes that you did get, and then eventually when the breakthrough finally came for you to finally get some meaningful minutes and make an impact on the team.
Yeah, I remember at the start. I was the third string, but me and my goalie coach from back home, my goalie coach here, I have a lot of supporters that are with me in that aspect of things, and my whole thing is just sticking to my process. And I just kind of accepted that it wasn't my time to play or anything, and I used that to my advantage. And every single day in practice, I tried to, with the reps I had, I tried to do everything I could with it. One of my goalie coaches back home, he has this saying, make a clone of yourself, of who you want to be like a year from now. And so every day after practice, I did my skating and stayed out with the guys taking extra shots, because I completely believe we have the best shooters in North America in college. So it's hard not to get better when you have these guys shooting on you. And I tried to take advantage of that. And that was my mindset. I just accepted the position I was in, and I wanted to embrace it and do everything I could with it, and just stuck to my process and stayed consistent every single day. And I trusted if I did all of those things, then the results would take care of themselves. And eventually, I got my opportunity. But before that, I think the first time I ever played was I got thrown in 3 minutes left against Miami, and luckily I made all the saves then, the 3 shots that I got, and then they put me in against St. Cloud before Christmas break, and I played like 3 minutes out of that game, and then I played against North Dakota. I'm pretty sure it was the full third period of that game, and my former teammate Cole Rashny scored on me at the end of that, which sucked.
Oh no.
He's an amazing player, so all props to him. And then my then I played half a game against Western, and kind of during this time, I just kept on building up confidence. I remember when David Carl, our head coach, he told me that I was going in, and I was getting all amped up the first time. And my goalie coach Ryan Massa, he's the best guy ever, and he's an amazing goalie coach. He just told me to calm down and just do what I do, and it definitely has helped me with just having him in my corner this whole time. And once I got my first opportunity against St. Cloud, I kind of just wanted to treat it like it's my last game, because I didn't know when my next opportunity would come. So I tried to give everything I had into that, and I didn't know what was happening with Quinton at the time. So it was just a really cool experience to be put in that game. It was a great atmosphere, and the guys the whole game, every single whistle, they knew that I wanted how bad I've wanted to play this whole time. So they gave me stick taps on the pads every whistle, and they were just like, "We'll do this for you." And I just wanted to give everything I had for them, because I've been watching them all year, and I've been a part of the adversity our group has been going through to that point, and I was just super excited for that opportunity, and it was just amazing to me, and it just feels really weird how long ago and how fast that all went by ever since then, because my emotions since then changed so much, and I feel like not who I am as a person, but who I am as a goalie has changed a lot, and it's just been special.
Yeah, I can see the emotion on your face for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a great story that you have, especially building up to that national championship game.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. You played, you had a interesting time period. Like you played 4 games partially, and kind of got some occasional minutes. And then in that game that you're speaking of, that was a January 24th. It was the second game of a weekend. Like what happened there? You didn't even start that game, did you? Did your goalie partner got hurt, or what happened there?
Yeah, he was going behind the net to play the puck, and he just fell over weird, and I was like looking at him because the play was going down the other end, and he was moving his leg weird, and I wasn't sure what was going on, but Massa looked at me, and I knew like what I had to do, because I prepare the same either way, whether I'm backing up or playing, and I think that that really helped me going into that game. And my mom was there for the first time ever as well, because it was parents' weekend, so my mom and grandparents were, so that was pretty special that they got to see that as well.
Oh, that's awesome. You keep saying just like trust your process and keep going with your process. What does that really entail? Like, is that your practice habits, your superstitions, your preparation?
Yeah, I think it's everything on and off the ice, just like my mindset. It's just having that every day is the same mindset, and just doing everything you can and not getting too far ahead of yourself. A huge thing for me is just being where my feet are and not looking too far ahead, because I'm a overthinker, and I can tend to let my thoughts spiral. And just I think it was about when I was 16. It's when I started journaling just about my days and everything. That's when I kind of caught myself and just started living in the present moment, and that's helped me just stay with what's in front of me a lot better. And
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I feel like a lot of goalies can definitely relate to the overthinking aspect of our game. And so I can assure that's very comforting that a national champion also overthinks the position, and the journaling is a great resource to have.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I started when I was 16, when I was in Merritt for the Centennials in the BCHL, and it's been a huge part of my development.
Awesome. And now a message from our sponsor.
Let's be real. Talent isn't your problem. Your mindset is. Most athletes break under pressure, can't stay consistent, and keep getting the same average results because their mindset was never built. This is Jeff Lerg, host of this podcast, and that's the reason we created the Dialed and Driven Success Formula. It's a 14-week mental performance system that builds real confidence, discipline, and habits that actually show up when it matters. Our results have shown that every athlete that has gone through our program has reported improvement in their mindset and consistency. No excuses, no wasted time, just systems that get results in 20 minutes a week. If you're tired of being average and you actually want to separate yourself, go to dialedandrivenmentality.com/success formula and start thinking and performing like someone who's dialed and driven. So Johnny, so just to kind of recap to our goalie listeners, you played like partial games in 4 games, just getting your feet wet. You went in one game, a few minutes in that first game against St. Cloud, which you're referencing. You guys ended up winning, got a shutout. So then from there, you went from, kind of the third string to getting a few games to then getting a win. The next weekend, I believe it was your actual first start. But from that point, that was really the turning point of your team success too. That was where your team really never looked back, never lost a game the rest of the year. But I got to know on the goalie front, I was always someone who was fairly superstitious. I'm sure, and routine oriented. There's always a blurred line there. Are there any new superstitions that you gained along the way that you're comfortable sharing? You don't have to give us all your tips and tricks, but anything that you weren't quite doing before that maybe worked, or maybe if you want to keep it close to your vest, that's fine too.
No, I mean, I've had this superstition for my whole career. I'm just a quiet guy on game days. I don't say anything to my teammates, but if they ask me something, I'll talk to them. But I personally don't say a single word during game days unless someone talks to me. But that's
interesting
superstition. Other than I wear a white hat everywhere I go. That's all.
That's what we needed. That we needed something. I would have been riding the same suit combo, same shoe, same socks, something.
Yeah. Well, I do that as well. I think
there you go.
It's my only.
You guys are funny.
It's like the game day approach. It's time to snap into game day. You got to put on the game day swag.
I guess so.
What was the story? You just love the blue Powerade or blue Gatorade? Your mouth is always blue. Is that you've always
your jersey's blue? Yeah, the whole thing.
Well, I mean I didn't even get to choose. Like it's usually our trainer Aaron Lure, our strength coach Matthew Shaw that fills it up for me. So I drink what's ever in there, but it's usually just it's a flavor of Powerade. So it's either like yellow, blue, red, and it was blue for the regionals, and I think they just wanted to stick with it. I wasn't too sure, but it's not a superstition or anything. I'm fine with any kind of energy drink that keeps
we'll be seeing if they change it to red next year. We'll be seeing if it's all red.
Yeah, we'll see.
Your tournament games in particular, they were intriguing for me to watch. I was watching from the goalie lens, and I was watching the first games, the regionals in Colorado, and your team kind of was the more dominant team each game, especially against Western. You guys got out to a big lead, and then I didn't know a ton about your game, but I remember watching that one being like, oh wow, he had to kind of still keep making some timely saves down the stretch because Western was trying to make a good push to claw themselves back in. And then really where you made your mark, of course, was against, being that I'm a Michigan State guy, I was very happy when you guys won the semifinals versus U of M and you stole the show. But your team was like just super resilient. Like you guys were down by a goal in that game and then again in the finals. And I attribute that from the goalie perspective. It seemed that you had this just mentality of like you bend but you don't break. I don't know where maybe you can give us a little thought on what your mentality was in each of those games. They're do or die games. If you lose, the season's over. You guys were down late and you had this ability to make these timely saves. So maybe can you cue our goalie nation in on what was your mindset in each of those games? You guys were down late within the last 10 minutes of the game. You were losing in each of them.
Yeah. I think for the most part, I like what you said. First of all, I was gonna mention that bend don't break, because our coach said that in one of his interviews that I watched as well, and I really liked it. And I feel like I just kept my same mindset throughout all of overtime. I think the only thing that I really wanted to just emphasize was it having the potential to be my last game. And I mean, there's a huge break after this, and I might as well just give everything I have. Like, there's no point in holding anything I have back, like, ever in any game, but especially since it's an elimination game, you never know if there could be a bad bounce or anything like that. So I just wanted to give everything I had and just put everything I have on the line, and I know the team did the same. With the guys were beat up after that game, especially. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things, just being completely in the present moment. I remember at the 6 or 8 minute mark of the Michigan game, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I had full belief, but anything can happen in those big games. So I kind of just took a look around me just to like see where I was and just take a step back fully. And I feel like once I did that, I was fully immersed in the present moment, because I'm not sure how to explain the feeling that I felt to complete sense, but it was just a sense of peace. And it was like that same feeling I felt when I accepted the position I was in, and then I played like a few weeks later. It was just the feeling of acceptance and peace. And once I felt that, weird enough, we scored like 2 shifts later. And after that, I kept that same mindset through the next overtime and the next game. And once I did that, I feel like everything just happened how it was supposed to and happened how it was meant to be. And it's a really surreal feeling. I'm not sure how to explain it.
We got it. You were just in that float state. Nothing else mattered. It was amazing, and you could see that in your game. That's what you look like. You were calm but intense, within your game, and that's why you were fun to watch from the goalie perspective. I was like, I gotta meet this guy. Like, he was so dialed in, and that's why we call that the dialed in driven mentality, knowing the task at hand and executing at the highest level. And you were super fun to watch. You were technical, but you read the plays. You were smooth. But we do have to know. We got to hear your story on the Tennessee State path that you were supposed to go on hockey wise. Like, we would love to hear the timeline of you were a junior hockey player in the BCHL, and then you had some good minutes in the WHL, and then obviously with the new rules, now you can still come over to NCAA Division I college hockey. So please fill us in on your timeline and kind of your story from that junior level in Western Canada junior hockey to finally arriving on the Denver campus.
I started playing in the BCHL when I was 15 years old. I went 0-24 my first season. It was a tough first year of junior hockey, but
that's for sure.
I met my goalie coach, who I'm still in contact with to this day. His name is Nathan Wolf, and we've been doing the same plan since the day I met him. He was the one who got me into journaling and all of my routines and everything. And he's a huge role model in my life, and I think that's just a huge part of my life that I need to say. And after that, I went to Brooks, and I played for the Brooks Bandits. We won the BCHL my first year, because it was a weird transition. It was like when the AJHL some teams left the AJHL to go to the BCHL. It was a crazy time. Uh, it was just it was just a confusing time for me. But I just tried to keep with the same mindset the best I could, and then I committed the start of my second year in Brooks to Tennessee, and I really enjoyed that year in Brooks, especially. We had an amazing team. The coaching staff is amazing there. The coaching staffs in Merritt were amazing, and my billets throughout the past few years have been amazing as well. Every single one of them, and it was about halfway through the BCHL season during Christmas break where I decided to move on to the Western League, and Victoria is a place where I grew up vacationing with my family, and it's never a place that I thought I would be playing hockey. That's for sure. Just because, I mean, yeah, it was a place that I grew up vacationing at, and that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. I got to play in my hometown versus the Camas Blazers, and my whole family got to come watch me play them, and that was a really cool experience. And it was during the second round of playoffs. There was just some issues going on with Tennessee State at the time, hearing just some financial issues, and I got injured the second round against Spokane. It was like game 4, and it was a practice day, and we've been having a really good playoff run up until this point. And Denver called me when I was sitting out in practice, or my agent called me, and he was like, "Yeah, Denver's interested. They need another goalie." And I was just like, I was kind of, I didn't really believe him at first, just the reputation the school has and everything they've accomplished. But once I kind of processed it, it was hard to say no to this opportunity. And
so that was last spring, though, right? That last spring you're in the playoffs in the WHL, and then you're injured, and no school to go to, because it sounded like Tennessee State was supposed to go Division I, and then there was no funding. So, geez, talk about just doing well every time, and then just, your numbers and probably story had kind of spoken for itself. And then, did they tell you that your opportunity with Denver coming in this year at least was going to be a third string scenario? Was that a pretty clear message?
Yeah, it was just you're gonna battle for the spot, and I think towards the start of the year, I don't think I tried to stick with the mindset I have, but I don't think it was as powerful as it was when I started accepting things for how it was and what I needed to do moving forward. And I think that change of perspective kind of helped me with everything.
Yeah, what a year. Last spring to this spring, you've literally leaps and bounds different.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It is unbelievable. So he said we didn't even give his stats. Like, these stats, I have to look them up.
Read them, Jeff.
They don't even make sense with how good they are. But 16-0-1, which really is 17-0-0. You won the shootout. That was counted as a tied. 1.19 goals against. That's 1.19. That's not even fathomable at college hockey. And then he beat my friend Jimmy Howard's save percentage record for a season. He clipped him by 0.1%, so 957%, 95.7% save percentage. That is like unthinkable. Amazing. So from no team last spring to that, and then just your play was awesome. And geez, Tennessee State to Denver championship.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tennessee State could have had a national championship their first year.
Yeah. So as we're in this goalie front and mentality building, and of course we kind of hammer the points of the long-term development path and just bringing it every day. And you touched on some of those points. Is there any last message or maybe lessons that you learned in your grind? I mean, you had mentioned it one year. I think that was your first year in juniors. You went winless. Your team went winless, and now this year, a few years later, you're going undefeated. So, is there any maybe message that you want to, a final message to our young goalies that listen from all over?
Yeah, I would just say, first of all, don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do. Just do what you love at the end of the day. and have fun with it and enjoy the journey, because a lot of this will just be memories one day. And you just need to enjoy it the most you can, and just stay level headed. Don't get too high or too low. Try and stay level the best you can, and just focus on yourself and trust your process. And yeah, just have fun with everything, because yeah, you're not always gonna get to play hockey and live out your dream. So you might as well just enjoy it and be where your feet are too. That's a huge one.
Awesome message.
I love it. Yeah. So Johnny, the message we always tell our listeners is to stay dialed and driven on your goals, as that's the only way to accomplish success. So we want to hear what your upcoming goals are now, next season and beyond.
I haven't really thought about that too much, to be honest with you. I'm kind of just trying to have a little reset right now and get away from everything, social media included. And I went on a hike last weekend, which was nice. So I'm more focused right now on just getting away from everything for a little bit and just trying to get back to my roots, whether that's playing guitar, painting, getting in the forest, just being with my family or my dogs. And yeah, just that once the next season comes, I'll focus on that. But it's going to be another national championship, just like it always is with this team. That's our main goal. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I figured that went without saying, being that you're playing at the most winning program in college hockey history. Of course, that's the goal every year.
Yep.
Seems like your coach, that's all he does as well. Seems amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we knew that would be preemptively when the time comes, your goal. And I think that's an amazing message, though, is that you're going to kind of have your mind cued in on other things. You know, we talk about not letting just being a goalie be your only identity. You named a handful of things you're going to do to keep your mind kind of calm and be ready to peak for the right time.
Yeah.
And you know that Natalie and I and the rest of the Dialed and Driven Nation will be rooting for you. And certainly along your season into next year, we love to stay in touch, and we'll be rooting for you. And of course, I'll be rooting for you as eventually, if you ever decide that you're going to try the pro game, I'd love to stay connected with you, as I battled that journey for 10 years in the minors, and you'll have to continue doing what you're doing, as just being a gamer and being a winner. And hopefully for you can do that the rest of your college career and then beyond.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck. Enjoy your off season.
And that concludes today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please give us a like, leave us a review, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, we would love for you to sign up to our free newsletter. Visit our website, Dialed and Driven Mentality. See you next week.